Good evening and welcome to episode 4 of Kicking It. I'm so excited to be joining you again. I am your host, Lindsay, a Brummie who now lives in America, who loves all things football, aka soccer. And yes, we have just completed the group stages of the 2022 World Cup, and what an absolutely amazing set of matches we had. I really don't remember a World Cup like this before, that just had so much excitement, drama, nail-biting finishes for a long time. And I'm seeing it from everybody. Everyone's posts just about the excitement. And I said it yesterday, and I'm going to say it again. I do not want to hear anybody say that this World Cup is boring, or that soccer is boring, or that, they just drew a game or tied a game and that was boring. No, these games have been exciting and amazing. Each of the groups have had something different to offer. Controversies, tears, shirts flung off even though they didn't make it through to the group. Just so much excitement, so much despair, so much encouragement and discouragement. The unexpected as well. The absolutely unexpected. So we're going to quickly just have a quick recap and then look forward to the games that will take place tomorrow as we begin the round of 16 games. So first of all, in Group A, we're pretty certain that the Netherlands were going to make it through. And some people have said that they could be the dark horse, but not quite convinced. You know, they're slowly getting things done, but not something to really scream about and get excited about. However, it was really between Senegal and Ecuador. We knew that Qatar were going home, or in this case, driving back to their house. But yeah, so it was between Senegal and Ecuador, and I had a feeling that Senegal could do it, even without Sadio Mane. And again, I've spoken about this in previous pods. I am so sad that he has missed this World Cup, and I think he would have been a great addition to the team. And what did they have to do? They had to beat Ecuador, beat them or go home. And in an exciting match, what did they do? They beat Ecuador 2-1. So Group A, the Netherlands and Senegal made it through. That same day, we had another match that was do or die, and that included the Stripes and Stars, Captain America, and the USA team. Looked like England were pretty much through. Of course, if Wales had scored like 4 or 5 goals and other things happened, there was a chance, but they were pretty much through. And you could see that Gareth Southgate finally started Rashford and Foden, which a lot of fans had called out for. So yeah, it took them a while to get moving, but, they beat Wales comfortably. But again, the very important game there was USA v Iran. And USA needed to win, or they were taking a flight back across the ocean. And in style, Captain America, aka Christian Pulisic, came through and literally put his body on the line. It was a pelvic injury, apparently, or abdominal. So he did want to clarify that it was not his private area. But good news there is that it's looking like he may be able to play tomorrow. But yeah, that was a great win by USA. Again, midfield did an excellent job, and Christian Pulisic came through when it counted. And again, I know Chelsea fans are saying, where is this Pulisic for Chelsea? But it was just really great to see America make it through. I'm very happy for my fellow American friends. And again, great draw between England and America. And America were able to make it through. So that was England and America through in Group B. In Group C, this was crazy. It got completely flipped around because going into the group, it was Poland 4 points, Argentina 3 points, Saudi Arabia 3 points, and Mexico 2 points. By the time the group finished, it was Argentina 6 points, Poland 4 points, Mexico 4 points, and Saudi Arabia 3 points. And there we saw the all-important Poland were able to go through on fair play. Mexico needed to score, they just could not. And sadly, I think it's a very long time since they have not made the round of 16. But Poland were able to do it, so that was absolutely exciting for Poland. And again, it goes to show that goals scored count and your behavior counts. Again, I think we've mentioned this before, but when you have a team that's racking up 5, 6, 7 goals, and Spain did it against sorry, I can't remember the team, Costa Rica, that was it. And England, had a 6-2 with Iran. And people are saying, oh, do you really need to keep scoring those goals? Where's the mercy rule? Can you just, relax, calm down? But you really can't, because when you are in a competition and you are in a group stage and you are head to head on points with someone who is in third place and it comes down to goals scored, you need those goals scored. So it is very important. And again, if you are on the same goal scored and fair play comes into it, the fact that you could get through to the next stage of the tournament based on having, a lower amount of yellow cards than the team you're competing against is really incredible. So again, all those things come into play. And I think, teams need to remember that. And fans as well, it makes it exciting. So again, we had exciting games. So, Group D. We had France, Australia, Tunisia, and Denmark. And I know my bracket was messed up with this one. Of course, France, we all expected France to win and go through. But surprisingly, Tunisia actually stunned France. Denmark, they could not beat Australia. And surprisingly, the Socceroos came second in that group. No one expected them to. And they are now through to the round of 16 with France. So again, more excitement and, surprise. Denmark, who had an excellent Euros, and it's great to see Christian Eriksen playing in the World Cup after what happened to him in the Euros. For those who didn't follow it, he actually had cardiac arrest on the field and literally died for a certain amount of time. He was revived and, thankfully he was fine. And now he is back to playing football, and he was back at the World Cup. But unfortunately, Denmark did not advance to the round of 16. Group E. Now this was a really, really fascinating group. So you started off in the final day of the final rounds. Spain had 4 points, Japan had 3 points, Costa Rica had 3 points, and Germany were at the bottom with 1 point. 1 point from 2 games. This is Germany, right? And to everyone's surprise and astonishment, Japan actually finished the group top, with 6 points. And at one point, the amazing thing about watching these 2 games is that for a very short time, Costa Rica and Japan had knocked out Spain and Germany. It was crazy to be a fan and to watch that, knowing that Spain had started the round so well and, now they were actually losing. And then because of the score in the other game, Costa Rica were winning. It actually meant that Spain were going to be in third spot. But, of course, Germany were able to take the lead, luckily, and luckily for Spain, not for Germany, because it didn't make a difference. Germany still ended up going home. But, just absolutely crazy. Now, there is talk that Spain are being strategic. They knew that, they would make it through, and they thought, some are saying that they thought maybe being second place would give them an advantage, and they would play Morocco and be on that side of the draw rather than having to face Brazil and Argentina. But again, no team is easy, and again, this is just all, hearsay and, people making educated or calculated guesses or presumptions. Morocco have done excellent. They were another surprise that topped their group. Nobody thought they would do that. Nobody. So even if that was Spain's plan, which we have no idea what their plan was, because literally at one point they were about to be eliminated. But even if it is, who said that Morocco is going to be an easy game for them? So, there's no easy game. There's no easy bracket. You don't know what's going to happen in a game. You don't know who's going to come through and shine unexpectedly. You don't know who's going to get a red card. You don't know who's going to be injured. You just don't know what will happen. So we can predict and have favorites and make statements all we like. So again, if Spain did do that, intentionally plan to come second, which you can't always plan that either, yes, we know that they played a different squad, tried to rest some players, and that makes sense. France did that. Brazil did that today, and that's okay. England did that as well. That's why Rashford and Foden came on, not because they were necessarily Gareth's first choice, but I think it's because he wanted to rest some of his players, such as Sterling and Mount. So again, we don't know, but Morocco's not going to be easy for Spain. And, oh my goodness, the other crazy thing that happened in that group and in the game was the controversy of Japan's second goal against Spain. So it looked like the ball was out of play. Many people called it and said it was, us armchair referees, us armchair VAR specialists, us armchair coaches. Some said, no, you can see that some of the ball was still on the line. The rule is that the ball completely cannot touch the line for it to be out of play. So there's lots of photos going around, and at different angles, it looks like, okay, the ball is still touching the line. At different angles, it looks like it isn't. VAR and the referee allowed it. They said that the ball was, they actually said it was inconclusive. So in that case, they normally err on the side of a goal. So they gave Japan the goal, but people were enraged by that, a lot of people, and believed that was not fair. And of course, had that not have happened, then Germany would have qualified. But again, I love even all the memes of it, and but it's very hard to tell. I think of tennis matches, when they show you the Hawkeye and you see just the slightest bit of fuzz was touching the line, so therefore, it was an ace or it was out. And again, I know a football does not have fuzz like a tennis ball, but again, from the angles, some angles, it looks like it was touching the line. Either way, it was given. Japan are top of the group, and they are going through to the round of 16. Some English fans were probably laughing at Germany. I wasn't, but I know some fans will probably say that it is, sweet justice for the, I believe it was the 2010 World Cup when Lampard scored a goal for England, and it was clearly over the line. Granted, there was no goal technology then, but it was clearly over the line, and however, it was not given to England, and Germany, beat England that game. So some fans, I'm not saying all, some probably, don't have sympathy for Germany, which is sad, you never want to see anyone get knocked out. You definitely, it's very difficult when there's controversy involved, but unfortunately that's the game. We're still human. There's still going to be errors. It doesn't matter how many computers you use, goal line technology, VAR technology, cameras, angles, sensors. I heard that they were able to use, I believe it was called an IMU sensor, to show that the ball did not come off Ronaldo's head when he claimed the goal, when actually it was Bruno Fernandes who scored the goal with his, swinging ball, and Ronaldo thought he had touched it and claimed the goal. So, there's so many things that we try and use technology, but none of it is perfect at the end of the day. And, I've mentioned this, Aston Villa, was it 2 or 3 seasons ago, when we were playing a team and we really should have been relegated that season, and the ball went over the net. The ball went over the line, but apparently goal line technology said that it was not a goal. So there we see that the mechanism failed. So again, we can use all these things, but some things aren't going to work. So yes, are they at an advantage? Absolutely, but sometimes things fail. So Japan is through. They are through, and we're happy for them because it's exciting to see, not just European teams or South American teams go through, but Asian teams and African teams. So again, controversy, but it was exciting. It was absolutely exciting. All right, over to Group F, and as I mentioned, again, just a great result for the first time since I believe it was 98, an African country topped the group, and that was Morocco with 7 points. Croatia finished with 5, Belgium 4, and unfortunately for Canada 0. But fair play for them. Just like Wales, congratulations for making the World Cup. We take it for granted when teams get knocked out, and but the fact that a country can make it after 58 years is an incredible victory. So even being able to be there and participate in those games is great, and we take our hats off to those countries, and well done to Wales, well done to Canada. Unfortunately they're both eliminated, but the surprise in that group was Belgium. All they had to do was score against Croatia, and if you saw that last 30 minutes of the games, Lukaku, who is a known striker, could not get the ball over the line. I honestly feel sorry for him right now because he is probably, just distraught because he had just so many opportunities, clear chances, and he could not get that ball over the line. Therefore, Croatia advanced because they had that 1 point from getting a draw with Belgium. Whereas if Belgium had got the ball over the line and beat them, they would have got the 3 points instead of the 1 point. So Morocco and Croatia made it through. So again, just a shock to see Belgium and Germany knocked out. Germany, definitely a great European team who has won the World Cup, I believe, 2 or 3 times, and Belgium, they've not been historically great, but these past 8 years they have been excellent, and it's sad to see that they didn't get to win a World Cup or a Euros, given that golden generation that they supposedly had in Lukaku and Kevin De Bruyne and Eden Hazard and his brother and the great defenders and, Company 8 years ago and Alderweireld and Vertonghen, all these great talents that they had, Courtois, the goalkeeper, just great talent. But unfortunately, they couldn't get anywhere. So, and of course, even Kevin De Bruyne said it, we're too old now. So it's time for them to raise up the next generation of youth and hopefully integrate those into the team and, reevaluate. Surely the coach, Martinez, surely he will be fired. Some are speculating that Henry will take over. Who knows? But sadly, Belgium's golden generation. And I feel like that's what concerns me about England as well, for the England fans out there, that yes, some say, well, Gareth's, got us, the greatest results since 66 and since the golden generation of, Rooney and Beckham and Lampard and Stevie G and, Ferdinand, those guys. But that's my concern. If they don't do something now, do we have enough youth that are coming through? Great. We know that we have, Bellingham and Saka, and some other younger guys coming up. But if we don't do anything this World Cup or 2 years' time in the Euros, are we going to be Belgium in 4 years' time or in 6 years' time? So that's my concern. All right, so back to Group G. And, I mean, you saw today, Cameroon, they beat Brazil. Now, granted, Brazil has some injuries and they rested some players. And, you know, I understand resting players, but I also think, is there a disadvantage for teams? Because if you've played your best team, your strongest team against certain opposition, and then you've got the points you need to come out of the group, what about the person who plays you last? You know, is it an advantage for them that they get to play a so-called weakened team or a bench team or a B team, whatever team you want to call it? And in some cases, I mean, you looked at Brazil's team today, and even if you said that's the B team, these are guys who are starters for their teams. And we're talking like good teams. I mean, Edison is a starter for Man City. I mean, look at everything Edison has won over the years. Martinelli, Jesus. I mean, these are guys that start and play and are excellent. But, you know, because of how packed and stacked the team is, it's so funny to think that, you know, they actually can't get onto the first team. So is that fair that, you know, a team might get to play a weakened team, and how does that affect results? But again, you have to play the game in front of you, and you have to win for yourself and not rely on other results. So anyway, Cameroon beat Brazil, and they were excited, and you know, we saw the red card because he took off his shirt and he already had a yellow card. For those who don't know, in football you can get an automatic red card, and that means you get sent off, or you can get 2 yellow cards, which will then mean you get sent off. And it is known, it has been a rule for years, if you take off your t-shirt, you are going to get a yellow card. I don't know why it's a rule, but everyone knows it, and people, you know, try not to do it. But of course, sometimes people do, and in this case, he did, and he got the red card. But unfortunately, they were not going through anyway, because Switzerland had just, you know, fought hard and beat Serbia, and that game got very, very touchy at the end. I mean, a lot of just fighting, and I understand, though, given the history of the culture, and of course, Xhaka always seems to sometimes get involved in controversy, and you know, I'd like to think that he has matured, and I've seen him mature a little bit at Arsenal, and you know, finally be a captain. But anyway, Brazil and Switzerland made it through, and unfortunately, Cameroon and Serbia were knocked out. And then in Group H, so the final group, another shocking and exciting group. I mean, talk about the last group of the day and the last bit of excitement for this group stages. I mean, oh my goodness, absolutely amazing. So, you know, unfortunately, Ghana could not beat Uruguay. And the majority of the match, because Uruguay was winning, and unfortunately, you know, Ayew missed a penalty at the beginning and just lost that momentum, and Uruguay capitalized and got 2 goals very quick. So they actually, Portugal were already through, they were first place, and Uruguay were second for majority of the game, and they were excited, you know. Teams and players, they normally know, there's a way that they communicate, so that a lot of time teams will know, hey, and that's why for those of you who are new to the game, during the group stages, the first 2 games are at different times, but the final game of the group stage go on simultaneously, so that you can have no issues with, you know, results and that kind of stuff. But obviously, through the crowd or through the technical directors or your coach, you know what's going on in the other game, and sometimes that can have an impact, and they might tell the team so that they know, okay, we need to press, we need to score a goal right now, or we need to defend and just hold on. So in this case, you know, Uruguay knew they were ahead and they had that second spot. But, oh my goodness, in the 91st minute of the game, Portugal v. South Korea. What happened? Son, or Batman's son, you know, because he has his nice bat mask right now. Batman's son, what does he do? He gets the ball. And I mean, the way that he's that goal he got last season in the Premier League, where he just dribbled from one end of the pitch to the other, was absolutely immense. And today, you saw it. He got the ball, he dribbled, and then he held onto the ball until he was able to get someone that he could pass the ball to. And what happened? They scored in the 91st minute. So that meant they actually beat Portugal. But more importantly, they stole that second spot from Uruguay. And there was nothing that Uruguay could do about it. So even though they beat Ghana, and, you know, Ghanaian fans, again, just like with England and the 2010 World Cup, there was some poetic justice for Ghana, you know, when they were kicked out of the quarterfinals in 2010 by Uruguay and all the controversy that happened then. So, wow. In the 91st minute, you know, Son did what Son does, and had a beautiful assist and helped his team get through to the next round of games. So again, I mean, please let me know your comments, your thoughts. What was your favorite game? You know, just again, amazing things. Uruguay knocked out, Belgium knocked out, Germany knocked out, you know, Asian teams going through, Australia, South Korea, Japan, you know, Senegal for Africa, Morocco for Africa, you know, so just amazing games, and, you know, just very exciting. So how do the brackets look? Tomorrow we begin straight away, you know, no rest, just tomorrow we kick off with round 16. And for the new fans who are watching, this is it now. This is counts. You play, you win, or you go home. Now, if you are drawing in a game, whereas in the group stages, if you draw, you just end the game, there has to be a winner in these games. So after 90 minutes, they will have if it's still a draw, they will have 30 minutes extra time. After that 30 minutes, if it's still a draw, so if someone scores and they're winning, then at the end of that extra 30 minutes, they are the winner. However, if it's still a draw, it will go to penalties. And I'm an English woman. I remember crying as a child, you know. I remember the joke, and I was an Aston Villa supporter. Still am an Aston Villa supporter. What is the fastest way out of Wembley? The Southgate, because of that epic penalty missed by Gareth Southgate. So I am an English woman, and I know the heartbreak of penalties. So granted, last World Cup, we broke the curse, but penalties are just crazy. You never want to go to penalties. Some teams do play for penalties, but, you know, it's just heartbreaking because, again, what happened? We lost in the Euros, you know, to penalties, and that was just absolutely heartbreaking, which we should not have lost. But I'm going to stop going on about that because I think I speak about that too much. So tomorrow starts in the morning at 10 a.m. with the Netherlands v USA. USA can beat the Netherlands. They really can. I mean, and now we know Gakpo is doing great for Netherlands. I believe he's currently on 3 goals, but they're still missing a striker, and the USA is missing a striker as well. But that midfield is doing really well for USA, and Pulisic should be fit. So could be a close one, and we could see maybe extra time or penalties, but I do believe that the USA can beat Netherlands. In the afternoon, we have Argentina v Australia. I think most people are going to say that Argentina are the favourites for that. Of course, no one expected Australia to get this far, but I think knowing that this is Messi's last chance, knowing that they, you know, have played themselves into the tournament, because of course they had that crazy loss to Saudi in the first round, but yeah, so I people are saying Argentina's favorite for that. All right, so Japan v Croatia. That would be a very good game. Of course, Croatia, They were finalists in the World Cup 4 years ago. They lost to France. They put up a fight, but France overpowered them. They beat England in the semi-finals. Still have a decent team. Probably not as good as that World Cup, but still have a decent team. Japan, however, are sneaky because Germany... So they beat Germany and they beat Spain. I mean, that is crazy. Two European powerhouses, two past champions. Granted, Germany doesn't have the team they once had. Spain have been doing well. But get this, though. Germany and Spain had over 70% of the ball in the match. So you have to watch out because Japan are sneaky on that counterattack. And they make the most of their chances. And that's what's got them through. So that should be a good game, Japan v Croatia. We also have Brazil v South Korea. So again, Brazil are favorites in this tournament. Now, we saw what happened today. Son and Hwang as well. Hwang, who also plays in the Premier League, was able to come through for his team. So I think, South Korea will take it to them, but ultimately, Brazil are favorites. However, though, they do have some injuries, so that's something to be concerned about. Oh, and going back to the Netherlands v USA game, apparently the Netherlands actually are battling illness right now, so we'll see how that affects tomorrow's game. We also have France v Poland, so Lewandowski's last opportunity as well, but thankfully, he made it out of the group stage. He scored his first World Cup goal. Will that be the accelerant that he needs? But again, France also favorites, still current champions, and Mbappe has been doing amazing, and Giroud, Mr. Old Man Captain, is still there, still looking lovely and still scoring lovely goals. Griezmann, I'm not sure if Benzema is going to be back or not, but granted, they've had injuries, but they're still doing very well. England v Senegal. Whew, oh my goodness. I mean, I really didn't know who I wanted to play, but I didn't want to play Senegal. Senegal and Morocco, the only African teams in the tournament, and I'm very happy for non-European teams and non-South American teams who progress and do well. I want to see, teams from all over the world do well. So it's tough to have to play Senegal. And I know there's going to be a lot of people rooting against England. I believe we have what it takes, but by no means will I underestimate or disrespect Senegal, because they, even without Mane, they have played well and they have shown themselves to be worthy opponents. So I will not take this game for granted. And I have no clue what Southgate is going to do. Because everyone saw what Rashford and Foden are capable of doing, and had Foden come into the USA game, could he have changed it? Or was Southgate just happy to, play for a draw and just not really feel like we need to win the game? So you saw what Rashford and Foden can do, but Mount and Sterling will probably still start tomorrow. So yeah. On Sunday. So again, even though we have the team and we have the firepower, we have the creativity, we have the youth, we have the talent, we have, this beauty, but will we get to see it? Because, the manager wants to hide it, doesn't want to use it. So I have no idea what will happen. England v Senegal. But again, it will be a good game. Morocco v Spain. Again, I mentioned it earlier. Some are thinking, Morocco will be a piece of cake for Spain. But no, let's not write Morocco off. And then Portugal v Switzerland. I think that's going to be a great game as well, and can absolutely go either way. Again, we're dealing with Ronaldo, probably his final World Cup. Never won a World Cup, has won a Euros. And, for Messi and Ronaldo, does winning a World Cup crown them as GOAT? Does it? They've won everything they possibly can at a club level. but playing for your country and winning a World Cup, inspiring your team to victory, doing everything that it takes. Yes, there's 11 men on the field, there's a coach, there's the substitutes. But can you be that catalyst and that inspiration to get your country to the final and then win to victory? Does that solidify the GOAT? Let me know your thoughts on that. So some great games. Absolutely great games. And if the group stages have been anything to go by, we're going to see more drama. We're going to see more excitement. We're going to see more extra time. We're going to see penalties, definitely. So we're going to see great talent and skill emerging. Excellent defense. Controversy, I'm sure. Thankfully, we've not had any biting drama or any any headbutts, any serious fights, any red card for violent conduct or anything like that. We haven't seen any severe challenges. So I hope it stays that way. We can still have drama, but good drama. So injuries, like I mentioned, Brazil, Neymar is injured still, Sandro, and then apparently today Telles and Jesus also got injured and will be having scans. So how will that affect Brazil? The Netherlands, apparently dealing with some illness, some flu or something. How will that affect them? Pulisic should be back. Power rankings. So power rankings still pretty much the same, really. Number 1, Brazil. Number 2, France. Number 3, Spain. Number 4, Argentina. Number 5, England. I think probably the team that's gone up in that power rankings is probably Spain. Underdogs. Definitely Japan and Morocco. How are we looking on Golden Boot? Right now, Golden Boot, those who are still in the competition with 3 goals are Morata for Spain, Rashford for England, surprisingly. Not because I don't believe he's talented, but again, because, we didn't really think he was going to start. Gakpo for Netherlands and then Mbappe for France. So, who is going to go the farthest out of those 4 players and, go towards getting that Golden Boot? Harry Kane got the Golden Boot 4 years ago. But again, who's on 2 goals and who can overtake them? So we'll see. Assists, top assist is Harry Kane with 3. So yes, he hasn't been scoring, but he's been assisting, which is amazing. And we know, some people are saying, is he more of a complete player now? I did pose that question, and then someone reminded me, I think it was 2 seasons ago, he won in the English Premier League for Spurs. He won most goals and most assists. So he's not new to this, assisting as well as goals. And then most clean sheets, 2. There's quite a few goalkeepers. Livakovic, Martinez, Szczesny, Alisson, Turney, Pickford. So, again, just trying to look out for those and see, who's going to become victorious with the Golden Boot or the Golden Glove. But again, more importantly, who's going to come out victorious as the World Cup winner. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Please let me know if you have any questions, any thoughts. Hopefully, I will be joined by a guest for my next show, and absolutely let me know if you want to come on. I know I've had a few people, and I am definitely going to schedule you on the show. Thank you for listening. Again, this World Cup has been exciting. If you haven't been excited, then let us know and keep on watching, because you are going to be excited. And my next pod, I may be crying or cheering, so I'm just going to give you a heads up for that. But it's been great, and we look forward to a whole new set of amazing games starting tomorrow morning. All right, everybody, take care. Good night.